want to post and comment. That's what bugs me. But the chirps for me, hockey
the
players,
jokes are funny. Yeah.
The jokes are funny, but the chirps and jokes that come to me, man, I love it. I think it's hilarious. And,
did you have a particular one that you thought was funny, either about you or anyone else? Because there were a couple fantastic ones from this season.
I think just me doing the lip chap thing, man.
Yeah.
I think that was classic. And I don't even remember doing that. I'll be honest. When I was watching it, I'm like,
yeah,
I have no recollection of doing that. But it was what people don't get is that it was so dry. They were in the desert, being in a hotel, like your skin is so dry and your lips are so chapped. And
yeah.
I remember we'd be sitting around the couch and James would always carry Aquaphor. It's an American brand, but it's almost like petroleum jelly in a tube, but it's for lips and skin.
Yeah.
And it was the best hydrating thing. So I used to be like, hey, I'd be like, James, I need that. So he tossed me over this tube and I'd be like, put it on my lips and we'd be passing it along the whole, like around the whole couch. And for me, I was like, luckily I had like a little lip chap or a lip balm. Like imagine if I had that tube of petroleum jelly, that's what I said. I'm like, thank gosh I didn't have that in my back pocket because James carried that all the time. But I think the lip chap, I think the hair stuff, I think people saying like, why, Brendan gets the last rose top 7. Why is he still here? Even people on Twitter, I would respond to them. They're like, why is Brendan still here? And he's like top 7. I'm like, I'm obviously doing something right. Like,
yeah,
you guys
you're
don't
not
see
there.
the background.
You're not there.
Like, I'm doing something right. I'm obviously I do have, a good connection with Katie and we respect each other a lot. So, yeah, man, it's funny what the internet has. It could be a very dark place or a fun place. You know what I mean? But it is a
and you see all of it.
For,
and well, so you mentioned it. So we'll jump to that moment because that was again, one of your sort of last moments on the show and a really prolific one. We said at the time that you going up to Katie's room and essentially explaining that the path and pace you were going down together, it's not one that was leading to an engagement. That was, to us, like we said, that's not only mature, but also it was smart for both of you. Right. And we obviously saw the optimistic lip chap application that got the internet buzzing. But in all seriousness, before you open that door, what was going on? Were you hopeful for, look, maybe if I bring this up, she'll realize, I should give him a one-on-one? Or was part of you just accepting the reality of both of you just weren't far enough along at that point? Were you kind of just getting ready to almost say goodbye a little bit?
Yeah. That we had a long conversation, but obviously the world sees about 5 minutes of it or even less. But we had a very long conversation. And I think leading up to that, even that last rose ceremony where I got the last rose, that whole week we were talking about like, listen, hometowns are right around the corner. Yeah. Everyone's had a one-on-one except for Mike and myself. And I knew that, the first one-on-one, it was going to be a repeat. And I knew it was going to probably most likely be Greg. We just had that feeling.
Really?
Probably one. Yeah. We just kind of knew it was going to be a repeat rose for a repeat one-on-one for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But even leading up to that week, I said, guys, like I need a one-on-one or else like there's no chance I'm even going to move on forward because I respect Katie. She's looking for a husband and I won't be able to give her that in that time frame. And I respect you boys so much that you deserve as much time at cocktail parties and me going to just talk to her for kind of no reason. And you boys deserve the time because you guys are going to be a bit ahead of me, knowing more about Katie, and she'll know more about a little bit more about you guys. So the whole thing for me, I knew that if I didn't get a 1-1, I'm not staying around. I'm going to go. Yeah. And I'm not going to go on that group date because at that point, that group date is going to be an exciting group date. It's going to be fun with the guys. And I didn't want to, give that bad negative energy kind of being
just
upset.
Be there for the sake of being there.
It was going to be a waste of time. I didn't want to look like an idiot. Right. So as soon as my name wasn't called, I wanted to go. And I think the biggest thing was it goes back to the last rose ceremony that same week when I didn't get time with her on the group date cocktail party because she was feeling very sick.
Yeah. Really? Okay. So that's something we didn't see, did we?
Yeah. I'm not too sure. She was feeling very ill and like there was only myself and someone else that didn't get time with her. And then the rose ceremony cocktail party, she cut short. So I'm like, man, I'm probably going home.
Yeah.
that's why, like, and that rose ceremony, I was very, very emotional too when the guys left, because I was on this roller coaster of emotion. So
And
James,
you
my
had lost,
roommate,
yeah,
you
James
know,
and Aaron.
James, he was my roommate, and Aaron was like, he was basically our other roommate too at that point.
Yeah.
Trey, Hunter as well.
Yeah.
Those guys had so much more time with Katie that week than I did.
Mhm.
But I was always bold uh, leading up to that. Like I did, like no one sees that, but I pulled Katie first. I got her a drink first. I was very bold and outgoing in that sense.
Mhm.
So I always showed I had balls. Like I was not scared to talk to her, hang out with her. So I was confident. I was like, hey, even though I didn't get time, like I know the moments we shared, like I'm still confident in what we have, like for no doubt.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I didn't get time to speak with her, and this is a bummer. Like this is brutal. So
Yeah.
when I got the last rose and those guys went home, like I was devastated. I actually wrote notes for James, Aaron, and then I had one note for all the guys in the house, because I was expecting to go home. I was prepared to go home that rose ceremony.
Yeah.
And when they went, like I reached in, gave them my notes, hugged them. I was bawling my eyes out.
And was that a normal? Did other people write notes? Like, dude, you're coming across as such a considerate, good friend, man. Like, that's such a thoughtful thing to do.
Andrew M. Early on, he wrote a note. He borrowed James's suit, and at the end of it, when he went home, he went to go get change, and we didn't know at the time, but he left a note in the pocket, thank James for the thing, but he wrote a note to the boys and just say, thanks guys for everything. Like, here's my information. I had the best experience. Love you guys. But James didn't know that until he reached into his pocket one night and he opened it up. But for me, I was very vocal on saying, yeah, I am. Like James was in front of me. I was like, dude, I'm writing you a note. Cause like, I'm probably going to go home tonight. Like I don't feel confident whatsoever. So when they went home, man, it was like I was crying, but then I was so emotional getting a rose. And when I got that rose, the whole point of my confidence getting that one-on-one leading up to that week was, if I got the last rose over these guys this week, I'm 110% guaranteed getting that one-on-one. There's no chance. It was a given, right? So, you know, when Katie gave me that rose, I said, listen, we'll make up for lost time. And, you know, go back, whatever. So once my name wasn't on that one-on-one, I was just like, Katie, listen, like I asked her like what that rose meant. You know, she obviously saw potential and we did have a good connection, but I just said, you know, like, I don't know why basically I'm still here, you know, and some great guys went home basically. But I knew knocking on that door leading up to it to kind of answer that question, I knew I was going to go. I was not sticking around. I just wanted to voice my opinion, catch up on the week that we missed, wanted to express myself.
Because you had a connect. There's a connection there. Like it deserves a goodbye and some real closure.
1,000%. And honestly, man, the goodbye, it was amazing. Like I hugged her and I just said, you know, I'm always going to have your back. And, you know, I said, you know, she's brought out so much of me. She's taught me so many things about just love and loving strangers and being such a good human and standing up for people in the house. And I said, you taught me so much, and vice versa. She said some amazing things to me that, you know, I'm going to hold dearly for the rest of my life, and hugged her and we went our separate ways, man. And I have no regrets. I was very, I was very content. You know what I mean? So that's, man, I wouldn't change anything for the world.
Man. And I